here and it's new topics. Today we got Bigfoot. We're discussing Bigfoot, brother.
The ghost is back too.
The ghost is in studio for the new year, kicking off things right.
Howdy, folks.
What's going on, everybody? If you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever, man, give this podcast a review. Greatly appreciate that. Today we are talking about Bigfoot.
What the is that?
That's you, man. It's not me. I'm on mute. Anyway, let's get this party started. So we're starting off with some weird news. First thing we have is there's a mom that's convinced her, what was it, her 9-year-old boy, maybe a little younger, was Lou Gehrig in a past life.
That's badass.
What do you think about that?
If it's true, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, so the article, if people want to see it, we'll obviously link it up in the weird news, but it's from people.com. The title is Meet the Boy Who Believes He Was Lou Gehrig in a Past Life, and his mom is convinced as well. And his mom has a couple accounts in this report basically saying there's facts about Lou Gehrig, about baseball, just in general, that he has no clue. He saw pictures of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth and said, oh, that's my friend, but we don't talk anymore. Things like that. Did you read the article?
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Did you think it's credible? Do you think some stories like this?
I would just like to hear from the kid, like audio, like a video clip from him.
Yeah, they didn't have anything.
You know,
they just had, some photos and just some stills.
it reminded me of that
people.com.
the book that I once read, like The Boy Who Believes in Heaven. You ever read that book?
No.
It's a pretty short story, like a short book. And like he basically had a near death experience.
Yeah, but don't they say that, like, if you see the light, like, the last thing that goes is light? So
yeah, but like
say, I saw the light, I went to the light.
He knew stuff like he shouldn't have known, like about like certain people and certain things.
Right.
So it's like kind of similar.
Well, it was an interesting thing, so I just thought I'd bring that up for the weird news for today, and it's on people.com. People can go see it, and we're going to link it in the show notes under the weird news. Also, one other thing that I found
Weird news.
There was 112 UFO sightings here in New Jersey alone in 2017.
That's not too many.
You don't think that's many?
No. That's
You would expect more?
Yeah.
How many more do you expect?
One every day.
One every day?
One every day.
I don't know about that. I mean, how many people are actively looking for UFOs in New Jersey, do you think?
A lot.
All right. I could take that. We just have different accounts. So I'll link that up it's from the patch.com. And it just states an article about all the UFOs that were sighted in New Jersey. Gives some firsthand accounts just from where they were located, the times. It was also on MUFON.
Yep.
People can go check that out too, because a lot of these do correspond with the stuff that's on MUFON, some of their case files. So people can check that out too. So I thought that was interesting just for the fact that what's going on in the news lately, or, you see all around YouTube, people share it on Twitter, things like that about the DOD. We talked about it before on the Weird News where, they released all these, I guess, video, not a lot, but what was there, a couple that basically just says, fighter pilots saw these UFOs, even though they're very grainy and you can't even make them out. So that was just an interesting topic as well to just touch on here. There's a couple of conventions, horror conventions. Are you ever interested in going to a horror convention with me?
Where is it?
Well, there's a couple not in our area.
We went to one. What, it was in 2009, 2010?
2009? What, did you come to Monster Mania with me?
Yeah, we went up. It wasn't it in Secaucus? No, not Secaucus. By MetLife Stadium?
Oh, that was Chiller. We did Chiller a long time ago. Yeah. That was like 2005, 6.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah. Would you
Uh-huh.
ever go to another one? I was just looking on, haunted attractions and horror conventions. Obviously, Hong Kong's a big one that's coming up in January.
Would you dress up?
Would I dress up? Yeah.
What would you dress up as?
Maybe the pumpkin suit, something like that.
No, you need.
Maybe I would wear the shirts that Kim got us.
Yeah, man.
How do you like these?
I like them.
Thanks, Kim.
There was a white shirt with a ghost.
You could have got the ghost one.
Yeah, it didn't look good though.
You didn't like it?
Because like the pocket was turned upside down, so the ghost was.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got you. Nice. So yeah, there's a couple conventions. I don't know if you would ever want to go to like a UFO convention or like a Bigfoot
I would love
convention.
to see the people who go to those.
You'd be interested in?
Yes.
Maybe one year we can find one that's in a decent driving range and actually go to one.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I would like to do. I mean, more of. I know I try to.
That's your New Year's resolution?
Yeah, go to at least 3.
3
Yeah.
this year.
You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna definitely go." You gotta pick a number, right? So I'm gonna go to 3.
Okay.
Even if
You
like
got any
Monster
more-
Mania is one, so that's checked off. That's in March. Would you go to that one?
Where is it?
It's where is it? In Cherry Hill, New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's easy. There's a lot of Candyman's gonna be there.
Candyman.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Tony Todd. You know the actor.
I thought you meant Kev.
He's not the Candyman.
I mean, technically he is. It happened at his house.
All right, whatever. Let's move on, brother. Oh yeah, another interesting thing too is if you want to check out, I always visit NASA.com, and on Saturday, January 13th at 4:30 a.m., NASA is going to be covering the SpaceX Dragon departure from the actual space station.
Dragon.
So they could check that out too. That was some cool news. I always try to follow them, see if if they post anything about UFOs or anything creepy. And on topic, the last thing we'll talk about with Weird News, well, we had the 2 main things, but this one I just saw on Reddit, which it was a North Carolina woman mom invents a spray that she says will attract Bigfoot
Let's buy
within
it.
a mile and a half.
Let's buy it, and I'll spray that shit everywhere around this house.
Why around the house?
Like outside.
There's nothing. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, in certain areas, I can believe it. Like, we'll talk about it, but
Huber Woods.
I don't think so. Yeah, there was an account in Weird New Jersey as well, since I've been reading the book. There was an account of a Bigfoot sighting in Huber Woods. I don't buy that. I'll be straight. There's too much around there. It is a big park.
Yeah.
But
Didn't you
there's
fall
just-
off your bike in Huber Woods?
Yeah, I got stitches there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was in Huber Woods. That was anything else. Anything else you heard recently in the news, G, that you want to share with the audience or anything?
No, not weird. No,
Nothing weird?
Nothing weird.
Nothing out of the ordinary? No UFO sightings, things like that?
No, I
All right.
wish.
All right, cool. Let's jump into it, brother. Today we have Bigfoot. Let's give a Bigfoot yell. Oh, wait, close it up. Yeah, Bigfoot, dude. What are your thoughts? Just off the bat, when you hear the word Bigfoot, what do you think of?
Couple things.
All right, what's a couple of things?
The 1967 or 62?
67?
67. That footage.
Okay.
Eddie the Yeti.
People don't know what Eddie the Yeti is.
Eddie Yeti is phenomenal.
What is Eddie the Yeti?
He's
Let people know. You have to explain this.
I know, I will. We go skiing pretty much every winter up in Maine at a mountain called Sunday River in Bethel, Maine, in the middle of nowhere. I bet you Bigfoot's around and he fucking up in Bethel.
I wouldn't be surprised even if it was around here, just for the simple fact that part of the Appalachian Trail does run through Jersey, and it runs from Maine down to Georgia. It is possible.
So the Bigfoot's walking the trails.
It could. Why not?
So anyways,
It's a nice road.
Eddie the Yeti is the mascot for Sunday River, the ski resort.
So we believe in Eddie the Yeti.
I seen him. I took a picture with him.
I know, I did too. So Bigfoot, we know.
What do you think about him?
Well, I want to give a history or a brief history.
You love histories of
I
Bigfoot.
do. I want to just get it out there.
Get it out there. Let's
So
hear it.
We know it's a cryptid, right? It's American folklore that inhabits the forests, especially those in the Pacific Northwest here in America. Bigfoot is usually described as large, hairy, bipedal, humanoid, right? And some of the first accounts that I did some research on came back from the 15th century.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin was not in the 15th century.
Close enough.
Close, but almost. Anyway, it's basically it originated in the landmass between Europe and Asia. And obviously different cultures have different names for this beast or so-called beast.
Yeah.
Do you know where the Yeti comes from?
China or
Yeah,
no?
the Himalayas,
Yeah,
that kind of
Nepal.
area. Then did you ever hear of the Yowie?
The Yowie?
Yeah,
No.
that's Australian. So they believe in it too. And let's see, what do we have? The Ibu Gogo.
Ibu Go-Go.
Yep. Indonesia.
Is that a go-go bar?
No, they basically, this is their names for Bigfoot. Here in America, we're known as like Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Goddamn
But
USA right there.
Yep. So that's where it really comes from. So that's where like Bigfoot, it stems from all these countries. So this is my thing on the whole topic of Bigfoot.
That was your brief history?
Well, it wasn't a brief history. It was just kind of it started, accounts of this tale dates back to the 15th century.
Benjamin Franklin
Time period, even though he was the 18th century. So 3 centuries later, when
You think Bigfoot helped build the pyramids?
He possibly could have.
Because he was he's strong. He's supposedly strong.
Very strong. One thing that I never understood about this,
About Bigfoot?
well, just about people's accounts of it. Everybody knows the size.
Sure.
Everybody always, the general things when I was reading this book or even reading some stuff online,
Yeah.
guess how tall he is?
7 foot.
7 foot. That's all the counts. 7 foot. He's
Yeah.
7 feet. 7 feet. 7 feet. 7 foot. It just doesn't add. Like, if I'm looking at somebody or even somebody standing up, I'm not being like, oh, well, they weigh approximately 235 pounds at 7
Well,
feet,
that's what
2 inches. It's like,
Yeah, but that's what, when people would describe, all right, how tall he was, how big
he was big. I don't know.
Roughly.
My
See, but
size.
when cops ask you that, all right, your size, you're 6 foot. Was he a little bit bigger than you?
Yes.
Okay. How much bigger? A foot? 2 foot?
Sure, 2 feet.
So there you go, 8 foot.
Yeah.
Then
See,
that's where they come up with
But
that.
why does everybody always come up with 7 foot? That's my only thing about it. Even like the brief history that we're given, right? Just from some of the different cultures. Obviously, they all have their different, versions of it, what it looks like, the hair, some people describe it as a reddish brown hair,
yep.
brown hair, black hair.
Maybe he put sun in his hair. Who
the
knows?
sun in.
Yeah.
That hasn't been around since like the 90s, early 2000s.
Love that shit.
One thing I thought fascinating just from the accounts and stuff is obviously scientists discount the existence of Bigfoot and consider it to be a combination of folklore, misidentification, hoaxes, or rather than actual living animal.
I think it's probably a misidentification, probably.
Yeah, because they just lack the note of physical evidence after centuries of investigation. Obviously, this dates back to the 15th century.
Here's
right?
my problem with like the whole Bigfoot thing. You have that one video that's pretty widely known. Was it from Patterson? What's his name? Patterson.
Come on, man. We're doing a show on Bigfoot and you don't even know the main staple?
It was Patterson.
His name was Patterson.
Yeah, the Patterson film.
Yeah, it's known as the Patterson film, right? It came out in October of 1967.
Yep.
It's the Robert Patterson and Gimlin film. Gimlin. He was actually the one who basically filmed it.
Yeah.
Supposedly doing even research on that. See, you don't like research.
No, I did research on that. People think it's actually a bodysuit because of the way he walks, and like they did like a whole like breakdown of like his joints and like where like the knees and the ankles and the elbows would be if it was a suit.
Yeah. So Roger. Sorry. I screwed that up. I always screw people's names up, so I apologize to begin with. I did say Robert. It's Roger Patterson
What's
Robert Bob Gimlin. And Patterson died of cancer in 1972, so after they actually filmed this, supposedly they did have a falling out, these two guys.
Yeah.
And Gimlin never actually came forward or anything for a long time. I think it was not until 2005. Let's see. Yeah, the early 1970s until 2005. He did 3 appearances, supposedly, as interviews, talking about Bigfoot and the conferences and stuff like that. So we had this film, right, that we could talk about this for sure.
Yeah.
It was in the 60s. So we have
that's like the most compelling film that ever came out, I think.
Well, what about the Paul Newman film? Or Jesus Christ. Paul Freeman. Jesus, I'm bad. See, this is like the names you can't.
You were like Alex Rodriguez.
What do you mean? Because I can't remember names?
What's what? We should play that goddamn clip.
Everything. I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at all like the information that's in my head, but the names I throw out.
You should just make up names.
I could. All right. So Paul Freeman has this video. I showed you.
Morgan Freeman has a video.
Morgan Freeman has a video also of Bigfoot that's out there. So people could check that out too online. So do you ever see the Paul Freeman one?
I have. Do you think that's more or less compelling than the Patterson film?
I think it is.
Okay.
It's closer. You don't see as much.
That's why I don't think it's as good.
Yeah, but
Because Patterson, you actually see like the whole thing. He turns and looks at you.
all right. So what about? I'm not even gonna say this guy's name
Let's
because
hear this.
I'm gonna definitely mess it up. How would you even pronounce this? This guy Bob.
Bob
Yeah. See, we don't.
Heironimus.
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 All right. So the guy Bob Heironimus came forward and basically said he was Bigfoot. Like he was the guy in the costume in the Patterson Gimlin footage. And I showed you that video, right?
Yeah, I watched that one. Yep.
I think I just sent that to you. And we have it here. And if you do the side by side and you actually look at it, it's pretty compelling. And if people want to see what this is, it says Bob Heironimus walking with Patty beside him. It's on YouTube. Doesn't have that many views, but I'm sure there's other films on there as well. So the stride, the look, the size, it looks like it.
Yeah, but if you practice that enough, I'm sure you can.
True, but would you agree? I mean, it stinks that we can't like upload some of these videos to our YouTube as we're filming, but people can go see that. So
Why can't we do that at the Ghost? Aren't you a tech guru? Like, why can't you just do that?
our setup?
Just upload the shit.
No,
The video.
never mind. Anyway, let's get back to it. Just some of the stuff that is compelling in itself. Another thing that I found was Teddy Roosevelt, obviously one of our presidents,
Yep.
had an account. He had this book, right? Wilderness Hunter. And in the book, there is an account of a Bigfoot story. So there's a lot of famous people and a lot of people, you know, if you heard a story, right? If we just go back to it, we just heard one story and say it was the video from 1967, right? And that was the only story. You'd be like, but then when thousands of people, millions of people come forward,
But that's like the same thing as UFOs and aliens and all this shit. Like,
would you say
there's so many accounts?
There's a lot of accounts with Bigfoot, right? And
Like
Bigfoot's all over the place because there's a lot of marketing tools and everything like that.
There's like two compelling things that like I saw like as evidence. Like I said, I watched the show Destination Truth a lot.
You love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show. And he was in the mountains, like the Himalayan mountains.
There you go.
Looking for
The Yeti.
the Yeti. And he did come across, like, which is published, like you could look it up, you know, Josh Gates finds, you know, Bigfoot prints or Sasquatch prints.
Does he eat out of the trash can?
No.
No.
And he found a footprint, like a casting. They did a mold of it. And,
Right.
you know, that was like one piece of evidence that, like, he's found.
Yeah, but so there's a lot of evidence, and we would point to evidence as saying there's a lot of foot tracks, right? Like there's
Sure.
a lot of casts, a lot of molds made of these feet.
But how don't we know that's like a big ape type creature?
Could be, right?
You know, that's
What about
undiscovered.
what about all the accounts of people saying, you know, I saw something walk across the car and it was standing on 2 feet. It was really hairy.
So?
How do you make all those accounts? And there's a lot of them.
I know that, but like, I think it's a big case of misidentification.
All right, so let's go back to the video that
Yep.
everybody loves.
Yep.
And how long has that been?
50 years?
More than 50 years, right?
The 67.
So yeah, right around this will be 51 years. So
Boom.
how come that
Mm-hmm.
is really the only evidence that we have?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like compelling evidence.
Yeah.
And we break down that video, right? So say if it was a person in a suit. And from what I read online, there's a lot of people that said,
It's a
yes,
great
it's
suit.
fake, or that they can't debunk it. Like
Sure.
they you know, even a lot of like biologists and people that study animals and just obviously more well-versed than I am on this subject, they say like just the way it moves, the mannerisms, and just this way that seems like even if it was a costume, it moves within like, you know, how our arms would move, the muscles
Sure.
would flex and you know, the ankles would move. And people like can't fully debunk this.
Yeah, I know that.
And even with, like I said, doing some reading and saying with these guys had a falling out, this would be an opportunity to say like, all right, you know, Bob comes forward and says, well, Roger died. And yeah, he really wanted to find Bigfoot, you know, and we just kind of hoaxed it.
But here's also another problem that I have. Like, you have that show Finding Bigfoot, right? On History Channel, National Geographic, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's Animal Planet.
How many seasons has it been on? they haven't found anything.
Yeah,
And
they
then
have.
that documentary I watched on Netflix.
Which one?
The
Discovering Bigfoot.
yeah, the first one.
There's a couple on Netflix. There was a lot actually. I found there was over like almost 20.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Amazon.
But like the very first one that popped up that you watched, the very first one.
I watched a lot.
The one guy, he and he's like explained like this is where I had
Okay, yeah,
a standoff in
Right.
with two Bigfoots.
Yeah, Discovering Bigfoot.
Like, give me a break. That looked shitty as hell.
Yes, I'll link it if people want to find it.
And he's like, yeah, they're staring at me right now, and I'm like, I'm staring at trees. What the hell are you looking at?
Yeah, some of the video in that, and even when they were showing it, that looks a lot more fake to me
yes.
than the Gimlin Patterson video film from 1967. And this guy was shooting it now. Well, that amazed me too because he knew exactly where to like find Bigfoot. He sees Bigfoot all the time.
Here what you do: you set up trap cameras, like game cameras, that take pictures like when anything moves around.
We could always Monday morning quarterback.
I know that,
but
like, I'm just saying, like, if he knows where it is, you can't get me a good picture of it.
Trust me, with all the evidence.
Come on.
I want to believe this one. This one I think would be amazing. But
I think it would be too because there's so many like, the world is so huge, which I don't think people understand.
No.
And the wilderness, like you get you know up in the Northwest or even up in Maine or like you go to like Europe
that's
or
why
whatever.
I say just go on the Appalachian Trail that runs through New Jersey. There is parts of places that people
Yes.
don't visit. That it's just miles and miles
Yeah.
of dense woods.
And they're discovering new species all the time in every part of the world.
And a lot of things too, people always talk about how there's no bones that were found. I mean, have you gone into the woods? I've been in the woods recently. We do a lot of hiking Bear Mountain, like woods that you don't see people, you don't see bones. It's not like you come across bones all the time.
No, yeah, I get that.
Animals get eaten, they get taken away in caverns or little caves.
But I'm just saying, like, there would be something. I think
if it dates back, if it really truly dates back to the 15th century of where people actually saw this, and even like Native Americans here in this own country, they have stories and tales of the Bigfoot.
But you don't think that's just an ape? Like a big ape that maybe was at one time like around.
All right, here.
And then it was extinct.
I'll give you an example. Well, not an example, but a story that I found. And this story, the name Bigfoot, right, was recorded in like the 19th century in America here that I could found. There's also other reports and stuff. There's a story of a Bigfoot, all right?
Mm-hmm.
This story is pretty compelling to me. It was a story of a Bigfoot that was killed near Fresno, California in 1895 after killing sheep for 15 years.
15 years.
15 years. This thing was killing like animals, sheep, everything. And it weighed about 2,000 pounds, 900 kilograms. There was reports going all over that people didn't know what the hell was going on. And they were finding these big feet. Turned out to be a grizzly bear.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stories like that if you date back, even the later 1800s, early 1900s, even, the Native Americans talking about this. And they kind of,
So you don't think like all those accounts, like, people like, walked across the road in 2 feet. It's a bear walking on 2 feet?
Could be.
Like, you ever see that? Like, it wasn't in New Jersey like a while.
Pebbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was an animal that injured one of its feet. What? Why are you giving me that look?
No, because that name is funny.
Yes, and it was running around people's yards.
Yeah, and it was on 2 feet.
Yeah, but all right, so if you saw that, all right, just here playing on both sides.
Yep.
If you saw that, and we saw a video of it, right?
Yeah.
That clearly is a bear. Like, what a bear looks like. That looks like a bear.
All right.
So how do people misidentify that as almost saying, like, it had a humanoid face? It had, like, hands like us. Because that
I don't
clearly had claws. You saw the paws.
I know, but I don't
You
know.
saw the face really well. And if people are that close to it where they could say, like, all right, it was
So
7
why can't
feet
you take a
tall.
picture? Give me a goddamn
All right.
picture of the thing.
Say the time, backtracking it to when we talked about UFOs, right? You're in your car.
Yep.
You're driving along.
Yep.
You're not really paying attention. You're listening to music. You may be texting, whatever.
Text
Now
in.
all of a sudden, you see a UFO. Now you have to scramble, flick on. Maybe it's locked. So you have to try to unlock it. Now it's gone. All right. Now imagine you're sitting there driving on a dark road. It's not like, all right, I have a video camera ready to go.
Some people do though.
Some people have dashboard cameras, right?
The ghost does.
The ghost does.
Yeah,
in his
somebody
car.
keyed his card.
Yeah,
He's pissed.
recently. So if anybody knows,
See? See?
yeah. So, but people have dashboard cameras, right? That could be an effective way if you live in an area
Side
like
note.
that.
Side
note.
Have you ever seen YouTube or Google cop car hits deer? You ever watch those?
No, but
Oh man, those things are awesome to watch. They just slam them and it just boom, gone, instant.
you really like it.
Google that.
Why you always tell him he's doing his thing?
He's not doing anything.
Let him do his thing.
Google cop car hits deer.
All right.
But wouldn't you think like up in Maine or Alaska, Oregon,
Yeah,
Washington? You would think cops driving around, they would smack one of these things.
yeah, but people always talk about it being elusive, right?
Elusive.
Yeah,
7
it's
foot
smart.
Olympic high jumper elusive.
It's smart, right? So it had, or say we evolved. How much have we evolved? We basically live in a certain area, right?
Yeah.
And we have this technology. What if it evolved to like live outside,
Yep.
right? Since the
Freezing out right
since
now.
the 15th century,
Yeah.
but it knew so say if it's like a bear, we don't know what like this thing eats, if it's true.
So what I'm
like-
getting is you 100% believe in Bigfoot.
I don't 100% believe in it, but I don't discount it.
90%.
There's a possibility. I always leave open the door just a crack.
I do too, but like it's just I don't know, man.
Like I said before, even we started this show, I have a feeling. Like I basically said, the more I watched, the more I just kind of got annoyed because I watched over 20 like documentaries, videos, and all this stuff, and all people had to show me was these plastered footprints, and people like were taking people on its word, right? And people saying, this is what it is. Yeah, Greg's now showing me. He's laughing. He's showing me cop cars hitting deer. That's nice, dude. You don't feel bad? It's animals right there.
They're elusive.
Deers aren't. Deers run in front of everything. They could be eating on the side of the road for like days that cars pass all the time. And they'll still run outside.
Remember Paula had one?
Why do you... Oh, dude. You have to stop. Anyway. So you don't think they're real or anything? Or
I
any
want to
that
believe
counts?
that they're real, but like how many hundreds of years that these things supposedly been around?
Okay. What
And-
about one that we know existed? Do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
Gigantopithecus?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What about that one? So we know there was remains found.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yep.
We know that, people, if they look at it, any resemblance to this, and people could look it up. I mean, that's the closest thing to Bigfoot that I guess we have, or
Sure.
a known creature. So we know it now. It's extinct from what we know,
Supposedly, yeah.
supposedly, and that's the closest thing of an account that we have to Bigfoot itself. So what if a small portion survived?
Yeah.
And if you look in this country, it's not impossible because there's a lot of caves in this country, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of national parks that are caves.
Yeah.
So you can go into. Now, this is really, this is just a theory.
This should be great.
No, but what if there's like caves underground connecting, right? Because we only dug down so far. If you actually look at how much we actually go down in Earth in any given area, right?
Okay.
So what if they're living in caves and going?
How far deep are these?
I don't know. Maybe 20,000 feet. Maybe even more.
20,000 feet.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
this is like Demolition Man, where people are living underneath.
But
the
would you say
streets.
it's like, all right, just look at the Appalachian Trail. Is it possible for one of these things to walk the whole trail to Maine or to Georgia, and maybe people are spotting them in New Jersey in like that northwest corner of where we live because of this? Like there is pocket. What I'm trying to say is there is pockets, there is regions, there is places that these things can hide.
Yeah, I get that.
And people have to get outside their own town, their own little community, their city.
I get that.
Like the thing I don't believe the one that we saw here in Weird New Jersey, their magazine about a Bigfoot being in Huber Woods. I've been in Huber Woods plenty of times.
What do you think that was? Somebody just made it up?
Yeah, they made up a story to send to
See, that's
weird
what
New
also
Jersey.
pisses me off, too. Like,
What really pisses you off?
the people make up stories about, like, seeing aliens, seeing UFOs, seeing Bigfoot.
Yeah, but people do that all the time.
Why, though?
You're laughing your ass off for, deers hitting, like,
You want me to pull up another one?
no. But I'm saying, like, wouldn't it be funny, like, so say if we knew, like, the ghost really believed in Bigfoot, and
Yeah.
to go around his yard dressed up in a gorilla costume, or, like, have these feet
I would
put
be
on.
filming him.
Exactly. You would think it's funny. So
I would think it's
there's
phenomenal.
There's a lot of people out there that think this is real funny.
No, I get that, but, like... No, but I'm saying, like, why would you make up, like, seeing one? Because you want to be, like, relevant? Like, that pisses me off.
No, but they want to get their name in a magazine. They want to talk about it. They want to, look at their, say, I have a cool story. Listen to me. Like, why are we talking about it? Because we find this interesting. So, say if we're talking about it, we find interest in this,
Yeah, but we don't go make up, like...
No, we don't. But there's people that do, for the kick of it, right?
Yeah,
for the thrill
that's what
of it,
pisses me off.
to just say, like, oh, yeah, I started this rumor, or I started this theory, say, like Slender Man, and now look at it. Now it's
Slender Man.
Now it's taken off, though. But you could see why people do this. And the thing...
It's like the thigh gap thing.
I almost feel like... there's a part of it that did exist at one point. Maybe it died off in the 15th century. Or maybe in the 17th, 18th century that we don't even know. Like it basically died off, right? But there's also a lot of other cryptids that they're finding, Like if you look back, the gigantic squid or whatever octopus that they found.
Yeah.
Like that was supposedly a myth at one point.
Yeah, I get that.
But, science...
Yeah, but do you know how vast the sea is? And we explore that.
Maybe Bigfoot lives in the sea.
Bigfoot lives in the sea. Now it's elusive swimmer.
Yeah.
No.
It's Loch Ness.
No.
That's what
That's what Loch Ness is interesting to me.
All right, that's one we'll have to talk about. All right, so what about this?
Nessie.
There's also other theories
Little
with Bigfoot.
Nessie.
With Bigfoot that he's an alien. That aliens basically sent this down to like watch us or,
I'm gonna throw some out at you.
Throw it at me.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Great movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
That was Bigfoot.
It was Bigfoot. What about it? Why you just throwing that out there?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Why do they hit it with their station wagon?
The wagon took it.
Yeah.
And then
I
remember
think the car would have been more messed up. But
remember getting in the car and just pushing up the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like that.
Yeah.
What about at the end where they all came out? How many were there? There was tons.
Yeah, there was a lot.
So that's a spoiler alert. So
spoiler, would that movie come out in like the 82?
I don't know. Maybe somebody didn't see it. Maybe it was before their time, and now they're just coming on to it.
They should remake that movie.
You want to see them remake it?
Yep, Harry and the Hendersons.
A little scarier.
No, I like that.
Still funny.
Yeah,
like a comedy.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's plausible. Yes, that there is
take
something.
A deep breath, bro.
There is something out there that we haven't found yet.
What about in 2007? The skunk ape in Florida. Did you see that photo?
Yes.
What do you think of that?
That's fake.
How is it fake?
The skunk ape. Come on, bro.
It's a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What
Florida.
What about all these cases? You look back at it. Like what about Boggy Creek? Right in what is that? Arkansas.
Yeah.
Area. What about that? They made a movie about it. There's a couple documentaries. Small Town Monsters. Shout out to them. They do a great job.
You love Small Town Monsters.
I do, man. I would like to get them on and talk about Bigfoot, and Mothman and some of the other stuff that they actually covered and did films for.
Like, I want to believe it's real, but, like, I just have a tough time.
Would you ever go Bigfoot hunting?
I wouldn't even know what the hell to look for, but we'll have to contact a lady in North Carolina, get a shit ton of spray. I'll spray myself with this Bigfoot spray.
We'd have to go into, like, a certain area that we know that they're active.
Let's go. I'll spray myself. I'll spray you.
All right.
I'll spray the ghost.
So we had this book on the table that I shared.
Bigfoot, New Jersey?
Yeah, Bigfoot, New Jersey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sightings in that book if you flip through. And your show that you love, Finding Bigfoot on Animal Planet.
Yeah.
You love Bobo.
That's ridiculous.
They were in the Pine Barrens searching for Bigfoot. So maybe Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil live in the Pine Barrens.
Maybe that they're the same. Or maybe the Jersey Devil picks up Bigfoot, so he's much more elusive.
Possibly.
Give me a break.
The Pine Barrens, I can't see it living in there. I mean, I guess there is enough vegetation. There's
no caves
deer.
in the Pine Barrens?
There could be caves. We don't know. Pine Barrens is huge,
I know that.
but I think it's more plausible if we go up. There's a lot of accounts which I would like to go up to one day, and I think you would like to because we know who likes to, hike. Kim.
Kim loves to hike.
Kim loves to hike. So,
She's in Harshon all the time.
See?
If there was a Bigfoot in Harshon, she would have saw it. She would have probably ran like hell though.
All right, so in
We need to get her a whistle.
High Point, New Jersey.
Yeah. High Point State Park.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's go there one day.
And search for Bigfoot.
We could just go hiking. We're just going for a hike one day. We could take our guns. We take our knives.
You have a gun?
Yeah. Don't tell anybody about it.
You have a gun. What kind of
don't
gun
tell
you got?
anybody. Don't worry about it. I can't say it on the air.
Yeah, you can.
You're about throwing names on the air.
I love that.
You're about just throwing out everybody
See,
else's business.
if Eagleton hit the Bigfoot with the Plymouth Breeze, that thing would have took it like a champ.
The Plymouth Breeze would have been done.
No. We hit a garbage can filled with cinder blocks.
How many times are you gonna tell this story?
That was hysterical.
No, but wouldn't it be cool just to go out for a hike and just film? We could bring some video.
Blair
equipment.
Witch style.
We could do Blair Witch. We can camp out there. There's a lot of sightings in Weird New Jersey in this magazine that I'm currently reading.
Remember when that movie came out, Blair Witch?
Yeah,
and everyone thought it was real.
I thought it was real at first. I was what? How old was I? 14?
No.
Came out in 97.
90? Really?
Yeah. When do you think it came out?
I don't know. I thought it was later.
No, you were probably too young. You weren't allowed to go see horror movies. You used to get really scared.
I did.
You used to get Greg used to get scared when Scream used to pay him a visit.
The movie that freaked me out the most was Arachnophobia.
Really?
Yeah. I remember after watching it, I would check behind the toilet.
Who was in that? Jeff Daniels?
Yeah. Make sure there's no spiders there. Remember they came up through the toilet? Oh, that freaked me out, bro.
Was it the barn scene?
Yeah.
I just remember that scene. I haven't seen that in a while.
Where they all just like, ah.
They'll come out.
Nah, man, that's not good. That freaks me out.
See? So there is stuff. There's things out there that we know exist, right?
Spiders exist.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying there is stuff like that, right? That people are afraid of. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around the whole Bigfoot thing because I want to believe, and I'm still gonna read, this magazine. I still have 6 other videos that I want to watch, and I know this may sound dumb and you might laugh at me or whatever, but I kind of want to watch Finding Bigfoot again.
The show, the whole show,
the whole show.
How many seasons are there?
I don't know. Not like go back and watch every season, but just if it's still on. I don't know.
It is still on. Yes,
and we got a clip from their beginning. Finding Bigfoot. All right, so here, I want to play a clip. You heard it before the show. I know you don't have headphones. You don't like the headphones. But I'm going to play a Bigfoot sound. Somebody recorded a Bigfoot noise. And if you want to hear it, we can get the headphones on. But, just saying that this was a Bigfoot that was recorded. I forget where this was actually recorded, but I think this is in Arkansas that somebody recorded this. Huber Woods, right here by the studio. But I don't know. It's compelling. I don't know what it is. I haven't spent that much time in the woods to really know. So I'll play it. To me, it just sounds like somebody's, I don't know, doing that call like the guy Bobo does or something. I don't know.
Well, here's I would ask them a question.
Ask the people Finding Bigfoot?
Yep. How do you know that's Bigfoot's call that he does?
Yeah, but if you listen to their accounts, if you watch the show, if you listen,
I have watched the show a couple times.
So they've seen it, right?
Yeah, not when the cameras are on, though.
They've seen it with the cameras on. They saw stuff in the woods. They heard stuff. They like the knocking. Something knocks back. When they do the howls like I played, something does it back. So, I don't know. How do you account for all that?
I don't know.
Like, we talked about just shows in general, right? We think a lot of shows are BS. A lot of shows are heavily produced.
Yeah.
There's a lot of production team that goes into it. How do we make this effective? If you look at the same model, Like we broke down ghost hunters how many times, right? Even when we talk about it, how many debunked videos that we saw on YouTube of the ghost hunters themselves. We met the ghost hunters. We have the picture to prove it, right? So I'm just saying, if you look at the model of ghost hunters side by side with finding both Bigfoot, it's exactly the same.
Oh,
right?
shit.
They show up somewhere, right? Ghost hunters, they interview the people.
Yep. These people interview the townsfolk.
Yep. Finding Bigfoot goes to a town hall meeting and they talk about Bigfoot.
Yep.
Then they pick out 1 or 2 cases from that. They go out and investigate. What does ghost hunters do? They find 1 or 2 cases beforehand and then they go out and investigate those.
Yeah.
Right? And then they, do their
So, like, you knock ghost hunters. Why don't you knock Finding Bigfoot? That it's all a hoax.
I do. Like,
I'm just saying.
I look at, yeah, but the thing with ghost hunters, I knock them, yes, but I believe in ghosts. I knock the show Finding Bigfoot and all this other stuff because, yes, if no one has brought, like, if your evidence dates back to 1967 and that's all we really have as far as video or actual good, hard photographic proof, because most of the other photographs, which I don't get, everybody now has an iPhone 10. Everybody, when a new technology comes out, everybody grabs it, right? So it's like, and people are like even that thing on Netflix, Discovering Bigfoot, or I don't know if I'm ripping into the wrong thing. I think that was exactly the show.
Let me look it up.
But even that guy, like some of his video was just like he had these cameras, he had all this equipment, and it was still like, what?
Yeah.
Like it looks so fake. It looks so terrible. Like movies look 10 times better than that, which granted it's a movie and they have the time and the money and the resources to do it. But at the same time, it's like,
have you ever seen like trap cameras like people use for deer?
Yeah.
Okay. Or not trap camera, game cameras.
Yeah. I've used one.
Okay. So why don't these people set up them, or this guy?
People do. People do, and that's where they caught. Like I think that's where they caught the skunk ape.
Discovering Bigfoot.
That was it, right?
Yeah. Set up where they are, because this guy claims that he knew where they were.
All right, so
and find them and give me a picture of them.
The evidence that we do have just from the accounts and people's eyewitnesses, because we can't say that they're hard facts, right?
They're not,
because there's not really like we do have the cast prints. We do have
That's the only thing I believe.
We have the Freeman videos, right? We have that video. We have, pictures galore of random stuff on the web. And a lot of like Finding Bigfoot and other, I guess you would say Bigfoot hunters talk about like the teepees that they find. How do you explain that?
People make shit in the woods. Animals make shit in the woods.
So
look at friggin' beavers. Look at the dams they create.
Yeah, but what kind of animal could pick some of these things up? And like, when he was showing some of the videos, right, where you saw it, and
like the big logs. Yes, I get
like,
that.
Where's the root? Where did this tree originate from? And it doesn't look like it was anywhere in the surrounding area.
I get that.
It doesn't make sense to me. Also, what about the tree branches that everybody claims to see, almost like they're markers for Bigfoot themselves, where they're kind of like broken off, like 6 feet, like kind of right where we are. How do you explain those? I'm just trying to throw some of these things out there that people always claim. We just don't know, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's one of these cases that we don't know. So, I don't know, man. It's compelling. Would you say this is a case or like a crypto, that you really believe in? Or that you would say, like, you're really... Are you interested in this? I think you are.
I'm interested in it. Am I a firm believer? No. Am I a firm disbeliever? No. It's kind of like 50-50.
Right.
Like, because I could see why it could be real, but I also can see, like, why everyone hoax shit.
So do you think... And you think you believe the Patterson Gimlin video?
I mean, that's the only solid proof that's, you have.
Yeah, so we have 53 seconds, just under a minute of this video.
Mm-hmm.
See, the only thing that I don't get is I understand they're on horseback, so they had it's just like driving now where it would have taken a little bit more time. I understand to set up if they saw this thing.
Mm-hmm.
How come
they didn't follow it?
I mean, they said they did, right? They said they did, and they kind of lost it.
No, but I'm saying with the camera. Like, why don't you see that footage?
That's a good point. Like so we only have 53 seconds of this, and it depends on if you believe it or not. From in October 20th, 1967, and yeah, it's one of the things that I asked. I was like, I don't know. It seems like if you're out there hunting for Bigfoot, right? Here's one thing I don't get. Why just? I understand if you saw it, you kind of be shitting your pants in some way, because then you could be like, how many are around? You know, if like you look at wolves or anything, you look at them and say, I mean, even like coyotes that we, recently hear, are in the neighborhood and people like freak out. See how many people freak out about that?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
people are stupid.
All right, if you saw Bigfoot, would you chase it? Like, I think if you were in the woods, like they were, right? They should be carrying some type of gun.
Net gun.
Net gun.
Yeah, remember that in Robin Big?
Who the hell?
You get a net gun. Well, you're hunting for Bigfoot. You get a net gun.
You're not going to catch it with a net gun.
You don't know that.
If we had guns, we could shoot it. Would you shoot it?
No.
So there's two.
I would net gun it.
You would net gun it.
Hell yeah. I would net gun the shit out of that thing.
I don't think you could find a
and
gun.
Lasso it up.
Lasso it up. Like, you know how to lasso.
No, but if I'm hunting for Bigfoot, you bring a lasso.
If we go hunting for Bigfoot this spring, whatever, summer.
We bring rope.
We're going to bring rope? Are we going to bring knives, guns, stuff like that?
I mean, I'm not going to shoot the goddamn thing.
Why not? So you're in
unless it's like coming at me.
All right, so you're in the camp. There's two types of camps.
So let me go back to your thing though. Let's say we found Bigfoot. It was the only one left in the world, and you shot it. Wouldn't you feel like an asshole?
There has to be a population.
You don't know that.
See, there's two camps, right? People that would shoot it and people that wouldn't. But all right, I wouldn't shoot it, but I would follow it as much as I could without risking my safety.
And it just like swatted you.
Well, that's where I would have the gun or some type of weapon.
What kind of gun you have? I hope you have a shotgun.
Don't worry about it.
If not, your Bigfoot's going to laugh at you.
Why? I would shoot it right in the head.
Boom. You're going to shoot Bigfoot in the head.
Come right at me, bam, right in the head.
There's no
done.
way you're hitting Bigfoot in the head.
Why not? It's so big. It's 500 pounds, 7 feet. How can you miss it?
Yeah,
just picture Shaq running at you.
Yeah, you're aiming at the body, not the head, man.
I would hit the body twice.
I'll go like this.
I would hit the body twice, and then bam, right in the head.
I would love to see you do that on a paper target.
I would.
I'll yell at you.
I'm not shooting a paper target that's like going away from me. It's coming towards me.
That's even harder.
Pop, 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 right in the head.
So you got two guns now.
No, I'm just saying it's the same gun. I just had to move my arm because of the mic handle.
Pop, pop, pop.
Pop, 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 right in the head.
If that's how you're shooting, you definitely ain't hitting the thing.
I'm hitting it for sure.
No, we'll take bets. We'll go to the shooting range.
I'll bring out the Kirkano that I shot, and I'll bring that, and we'll shoot the Bigfoot. And it also has a bayonet at the end, so I can bayonet him.
No, that thing will bend the bayonet and then laugh at you.
Whatever. I would bayonet it and just run.
You'd bayonet it and run.
Well, after I shot it, bayonet it, and then just...
If this thing is so elusive, I guarantee you could run like a bear, like 60 miles an hour.
Getting back to that point. It's so elusive, right? We know it tries to stay away from humans, so how is it spotted so much?
Because there's so many goddamn people on the earth.
I understand that, but did you ever go out to the Northwest?
Yeah, I was just out there today.
All right, the Northwest, boom, there's nothing out there.
Nope.
So there's nobody out there, but people see him, right? Because that's where, up in Northern California, where this video is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever go to there where they actually shot this? Because from records, it was like undiscovered until 2011, where they actually rediscovered the area that it was filmed. Why not? What if we went there and we actually saw it? We saw Patty walking around. That's what they called it.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying, man. I like to play both sides, and
I would love to see you shoot this thing.
I don't think I would. I wouldn't want to shoot it, but then it would just be another story.
Yep.
We would have to find a net gun. Do you think a net gun that size?
You get three of them.
Where would we go to find a net gun?
You Google it.
All right, so we'll Google a net gun and say we want this net gun. We'll contact whoever makes this, and we'll say we want a net gun that can capture Bigfoot if we see him, or her, whatever it is. Because the one in the Patterson video was a female, supposedly.
Canon net gun, 30 by 50. That thing's definitely
How much is that?
$700.
Would you be willing to spend $700 for this net gun?
There's a $21.
Yeah, how big is that? 5 inches
Yeah,
by 12.
That's not big at all.
So I don't know. All right, would you want to go this summer? Like, let's make it a point to go, and we could film it. Could put it up on our YouTube channel. We'll have some clips. It'll just be a fun day, just hiking.
Kim, you want to go for a hike?
Kim's not here.
She's in though.
She's in. She's in for a hike.
She loves
High
hiking.
Point.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll bring Annie.
Annie is the hunting dog.
She does hunt.
So
if she finds Bigfoot, she just gnaw at him.
She'll gnaw at Bigfoot. See, it'll give us some time to shoot it.
Now, don't shoot Annie though. Knowing you shoot the dog.
No, the dog was down. Bigfoot's so tall.
You were going like this though before, like
I have
Wild
to account
Wild West.
for the mic arm, obviously.
I don't know about
like
this.
the Wild West. Man, terrible, bro.
I don't know about this.
So, I guess we come to a consensus that you don't believe in it, no matter how much evidence.
No, it's 50-50.
People want to know why you do that.
You know,
A heavy sigh.
it's just making it more dramatic.
Well, I put up on my bookmarks, Bigfoot Finder. There's a website, bigfootfinder.com, and I'm going to check it regularly. So if there's any reports on there, and I also, all right, here's another thing I actually wanted to share, which I totally forgot. If you go on to bfro.net,
You can get all your sex toys at bfr.net.
you can. So New Jersey, I guess right now what they have is 67 sightings in New Jersey. Last posted.
Where's the last posted sighting?
I'm clicking on New Jersey right now from the BFRO. Let's see what happens and where it brings us. All right, so they have different regions. In Monmouth County, there was actually one listing of a sighting of where the actual studio is in New Jersey. There is one sighting, I guess. It's from a while ago, from 2006, so it could have been
The Huber Woods.
the Huber Woods one.
There's no way.
I don't know. But a lot of them, it looks like, takes place in Burlington County,
Okay.
so further up north, and Sussex,
Yeah.
which is where High Point is.
Okay.
So there's 17 sightings up there from what it has. So you can see it, and it does follow the trail pretty well if you look at
Listen,
the
if we
Appalachian
find
Trail.
Bigfoot,
what would you
we're
do?
going to be millionaires.
Why would we be millionaires? You're not going to shoot it. You're not going to capture it with your $20 net gun.
I'm going to take it home like Harry and the Hendersons.
If you can knock it out. You think you can knock it out?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm 6'1".
What does that mean?
He's not that much taller.
You're going to have to jump.
I'll just...
What if it steps on Annie?
That's fucked up, man.
What would you do then? Would you shoot it down?
I would fucking kill it.
All right. So then
You don't mess with my dog.
don't mess with Annie.
Don't mess with Annie.
So from all the evidence that you saw from the Paul Freeman video,
Yeah.
you don't think that's very compelling. Just get final thoughts.
I like
on
the
this.
Patterson video the best, I think.
Why? Just because it has 53 seconds of actual seeing the thing instead of it being behind a tree. It's out in the open. Like the Paul Freeman stuff is in the bushes.
Yep. I think that's the best video in all the castings. I believe in those.
I just
So
like
I think it's 50-50, man.
50-50.
Yeah.
Wow. It's not even one way or the other. It's just 50-50.
Nope.
You
You want to believe.
I want to believe it.
It's
but
a center
I
of
don't-
weirdness.
I don't know. This is a center of weirdness for the entire planet. People don't know.
If it
Nightmare
was-
365.
If it was, Bigfoot would be in the backyard.
That's one thing we don't have in the studio is a Bigfoot.
Nope.
We need some type of cutout or Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But
You believe.
I want to believe, yeah.
You believe.
I believe in Bigfoot. So go back to even like when I said with the JFK stuff, right? What really compelled me is I remember elementary school, I found this book in the library, and I remember 3 things that stuck out about this book. Bigfoot was on the cover,
Yep.
and it was from the Patterson video or film. I feel bad always not mentioning Bob,
Bob.
Patterson Gimlin video. And on the front, and they talked about that whole video in the book. And then they also had JFK, and they had Loch Ness. Those are the 3 things I remember as a little kid, 2nd grade, reading and looking at pictures and being
Nessie.
so, I guess, enamored and so kind of enthralled in this subject. And I don't know, maybe that's where it all started, even with like the Spy House. That's why I love this shit. But it's just one of those things that I enjoy, man. I don't know. And mysteries make us keep exploring, no matter what it is.
Sure.
And there's a lot of cryptids. We could look at it. You know?
I would love to hear more about your theory about the caves that are 20,000 feet underneath the earth.
I'm just saying there's a lot of caves. So is it possible? I'm not saying that this is like the theory and I went out and I studied this.
It
But
sounds like you did.
could it be possible?
Highly doubtful.
But we know there's caves all over the place, right?
Not that deep, though.
How do you know? Have you been down in some?
No, but...
I'm going to send you some. And just look how far down they go.
Okay.
And after that, you could say it's possible.
All right.
I'm just saying that's a theory. I don't know. I'm just like people throw out the alien theory. Do you believe in that?
What theory?
That Bigfoot's an alien.
No. Hell no.
So that's out of your books.
Yeah.
Bigfoot doesn't live in caves. We know from you Bigfoot does not live in water.
It definitely does not live in water.
So it only lives outside. Does it hibernate like a bear, you think?
I don't think so.
So you think it's out all the time?
I mean, do gorillas hibernate? Monkeys? I think it's an ape. If it exists, okay.
Right.
It is a gorilla ape type creature that just like evolved to start walking upright, just like we did.
And there's how many do you think it is? Like there has to be a population.
Hell yeah.
But how do you account then mass sightings all around the world? So we're not. I mean, I know we focused a lot on
because
just our
the
area.
land bridge, obviously, way back when.
So we're dating it back now to Benjamin Franklin again with the land bridge where he came over. Land bridge.
Benjamin Franklin walked the land bridge?
Yeah, he did. According to you, since he was alive in the 15th century.
Hell yeah, man.
So
Benjamin Franklin invented everything.
He did. Even the studio, he made this studio for us.
I want to see you get a tattoo of Benjamin Franklin.
Why?
Because I think that would be awesome.
Why can't I get a Bigfoot tattoo?
Well, here you go. You have like Benjamin Franklin on your right ass cheek, right?
Why it has to be my ass?
Well, here's gonna be the tattoo. It's gonna be very intricate, with the kite going up. At the end of the kite, okay, is the lightning bolt with the key, and then on the left ass cheek is Bigfoot and like JFK, and maybe like the Spy House like in the middle. Like at your lower back.
That's a lot going on, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
What about pumpkins and witches? I love those.
They'll be around the Spy House.
They'll be around the Spy House?
Yeah.
Anything else in there? What about the burbs? What about this picture that we have here in the studio?
No.
I'm really into the ghost. What about ghost? There was no ghost.
Maybe that can be in one of the windows in the Spy House. No, but I'm saying is it's an ape-like creature that just evolved, okay, to stand up on 2 feet, and it was around way back when. And that's why it's all over the world, because the land bridges.
That's the only thing.
That's how we got here.
I understand, but that's one thing I can't wrap my head around. There's so many different cultures from so many different time periods, and just talks about it. You know, Native Americans, dated back into early Europeans when they were over in Europe and Asia talking about this. Australia.
Do they have in Asia Bigfoot?
Yeah, they have them all over. We talked about it.
You think it has
the Yeti? Now you're being racist, bro.
I'm just saying. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did.
I did not say anything.
You said it without saying it.
I did not say anything.
People don't like you.
No.
People don't like you.
I'm just asking.
You're getting on bad. You're getting on the bad side of people right now. You
there
called them fuckers last week to open up the show, and now you're saying this.
Is there any Bigfoots in Africa?
From the accounts that I saw, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, look that up.
Yeah, but they only give you the United States and Canada. Let's see. They talk about
because they probably can't have a lot of hair in Africa.
We have Australia, China, Indonesia. Let's see, Himalayan region, Russia. I guess it would fall under other countries and regions because there's nothing.
Yeah, South African Sasquatch.
Say. Why do you gotta throw your phone around?
Sorry.
What are you making a statement? So yeah, there's every continent seems to have Bigfoot on it.
Antarctica doesn't. Nothing.
How do we know?
Nothing.
How do we know?
Nothing's down there.
Well, it is a flat Earth, so maybe they're walking back and forth, under these cavernous caves, like they're subway stations for Bigfoot.
Now we got subway stations for Bigfoot.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this, just because
I'm trying to wrap my head around now. Subway is 20,000 feet underneath the earth in these caves that go to Antarctica. It might not be
20,000 feet. It could be only like 5 feet right below us right now.
No way.
Walking around.
The basement's right there.
They're laughing at us.
I would imagine he pops up.
So, I don't know, man. But I know we say people misidentify things, and we say that people, I don't know, don't have a good grasp of sometimes what they're seeing. But how do you account for all these sightings? Do you think it's just like...
Half people make it up, half people misidentify, and probably like some people generally see something.
All right, so say 1 million people.
Yep.
Half of them made it up.
Yep.
Half of those are genuine. Would you say? So like
they generally see something, yes,
that they can't explain, just like a UFO.
Yeah, but I think they just can't explain it because they don't know what the hell it is.
They know how big it is. They know the weight. You know,
I understand that, but
they
like
know it's hairy.
All right, it's dark out. It's probably a bear.
I can see if it's. What about it's in the daytime?
Stop it.
People see stuff in the daytime.
Yeah, I get that.
How the video that you love was filmed when? In the daytime.
Yes.
Paul Freeman's video was filmed in the daytime.
Yes, I get that.
A lot of discovering.
So that's why I'm saying
film was filmed in the daytime.
That's why I'm saying like some of those people have genuine accounts.
So those are like, when we say like it's plausible, right? When we talk about ghost or anything, and we say like, all right, when we try to debunk something, something was knocking around, moving around, and now all of a sudden, we can't account for this one aspect of this bump or this sighting.
Sure.
It's paranormal, right?
Yep.
So even if we take 1 million and say 1% of that million is legit, how do we account for that then? We can't.
You can't. Nope.
So that's why I would believe a little bit more.
Sure.
Than I would, say, no, it's total bullshit. But I'm an evidence guy. We don't have any evidence. With ghost and some of this other stuff, we have plenty of evidence. But we don't have evidence with this. Scare him back, dude. Greg's favorite picture. You loved Grant. You missing him. So I guess our final thoughts, you are 50-50.
50-50. I got to see more.
So you need more.
Yep.
As do I. I want proof.
But you're like 80-20 believer.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
I'm more of like a 53.
No. You're at least 70-30 believer.
I like to believe it. I want to believe it. But I need evidence, man. We don't have evidence. We don't
80-20.
Even with like some of the shows, we love that Joe Rogan Questions Everything, right? Where they took that, ooh, this is Bigfoot scat. This is Bigfoot scat. And the guy never tested it. It's like, come on, man. Like, if you believe that's Bigfoot scat, you would never try to have that tested.
I'm sure.
Maybe you didn't have the money, but when they got it tested, it was nothing more than what? Bear?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, we have these casts. That's all we have. So I would say it's a great mystery crypto that I like to, and I really want to believe. But in the end, I don't think it's real. I mean,
70-30 you believe.
There's just no evidence. Maybe it's 30 I believe, 70 I don't.
Okay.
But it's a good mystery, that keeps us always exploring. And I think it's, it's a topic that we should come back to, in the future if there's anything, more. Maybe if we go up to High Point.
And we actually catch Bigfoot.
All right, so we go up to High Point this spring, summer.
Okay.
And we get a good video of it.
Yep.
If we actually saw something move, would you start running after it just to try to film it more?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What are we going to see? I hope we do see something. That'd be great. With all these reports that I've been reading about it, because now I'm tempted. And just from looking up at the BFRO, there's plenty of accounts up in that area. So
you coming with us?
The ghost is not coming. He's not going to come.
You'll stay in the car. I'll stay in the car.
So next week, G, what are we talking about next week?
You tell me.
This is one of your topics, bro.
I know.
This is a topic that you picked.
I'm very excited.
So, what is it?
Well, what do you? Which one? Which
come
one?
on, man.
Which
we
one?
talked about this.
Which one?
We talked about this before.
No, which one?
You know.
No, I don't.
Whatever. Wrap it up. Thanks everybody for tuning in to today's podcast. Help spread the word. Go. We do have Patreon now, so go over there and donate a few to the show if you want. We're going to have some shirts, some stickers coming along. How do you like the new logo so far?
I like it.
You like it?
Did we finalize it?
I think it's somewhat finalized. Not fully, but it is a little bit. So leave us a review on iTunes. Help spread the word on this show.
Next week
We will be talking about, did we actually kill Hitler at the end of World War II?
Well, no. Did he actually kill himself?
Did he kill himself?
No.
Did we kill him?
No.
We don't know, right? That's a mystery. There's a lot of documentaries and evidence pointing towards that he did survive. He didn't kill himself and he got away.
Yep.
So we'll be talking about that next week on the episode. Some of the shows that you'll be seeing will probably be airing live on YouTube on Sundays going forward.
Yep.
But thanks everybody for tuning in to the podcast. And until next time,
see ya.
Stay spooky.